Stadium. Another serious test tonight. Second against third on Filbert Way. As Enzo Maresca looks to mastermind yet another 3 points. Slipped through here, and it's Dewsbury Hall! Finally, a big chance came Leicester's way. Oh, what a goal this would be! Finished off by Kelechi Iheanacho. Leicester are heading top, and they are going to take some shifting. And Leicester City are going to equal the best ever start to a championship season. 27 points from 10 matches.
Yes, what a start it's been, and that was yet another victory. Brilliant second half performance against Preston in the week. Welcome along to Matchday Live here on Foster's Hub with me, Dan Bates, Matt Elliott and Matty Fryer. We build up to kick-off here at King Power Stadium against Stoke City this afternoon, the last game before an international break game. Well, it's been 3 days since that win against Preston in midweek, and following that, Enzo Maresca has decided to make 6 changes to the team that beat Preston by 3-0. In come Harry Souttar for his first league appearance of the season, and it's against his former side, of course. Also joining him in the 11 is Chowdhury, Cassidy, Yunus and Iheanacho. Out go Cody, Fast, Justin, Mavididi and Jamie Vardy. This is the 11 then in full. So it's Mads Hermansen in goal, Chowdhury, Vestergaard, Souttar and Ricardo across the back 4. Winks, Dewsbury Hall and Cassidy in midfield with Fataru and Yunus either side of Kelechi Iheanacho. On the bench, it's Jakub Stolarczyk, James Justin, Fass, Cody, Vardy, Mavididi, Albrighton, Daka and Ndidi. So all 6 of those that drop out from the starting 11 on Wednesday are on the bench if needed this afternoon. Meanwhile, today's visitors Stoke, they've got a number of injury issues to contend with. Their manager Alex Neil makes 3 changes to the side that narrowly lost 1-0 to Southampton in the week. Berger, Thompson and Jun Ho come into their 11, and here is their 11 in full. It's Travers in goal, Johnson, McNally, Berger and Shamadou across the back 4, with Pearson, Thompson and Loren in midfield, Jun Ho and Leris either side of Lowe up front. Yes, welcome along to Matchday Live. We've got Matt Elliott and Matty Fryer, 2 former Leicester City players, of course. 1 defender, 1 striker. We've got plenty of bases covered here, and we'll speak to Jerry Taggart a little bit later as we build up to kick-off. But how are you both doing? Hopefully we'll see another record equalling and extending victory today.
Yeah, all good, Batesy, thanks. But that's the idea, isn't it? And a lot of times it's easier than not as easy as people might think. But it's Leicester. They're heavy favourites, aren't they, today? We can't escape that fact. But sometimes that can be a trap to fall into, isn't it? You know, a little bit of complacency, possibly, or the few changes. How much of fit are they going to have? And I think Maresca will be looking closely at his players today, making those few changes and trying to sort of not prove to himself, but see for himself that down the line he can have that confidence in all the squad, not just the sort of 13, 14 players. And I think you'll find a positive answer, in truth, as long as they apply themselves properly. You've got to fancy Leicester to continue their run.
Yeah, I'm expectant. I'm looking forward to this one. Even with the changes we saw against Norwich, was it 5 changes as well, and the people come in. It's the strength and depth, and we've seen so many times this season. Leicester can win in different ways. They can be patient, they can go counter-attack. I think more so today it's based on the opposition. Stoke are a little bit like the weather. You just don't know what you're going to get from them. But the ones that are coming in, it's opportunities. And I'm fully expectant Leicester are going to carry on, and they're just in a good groove of form, aren't they? They're just flying through the games. But I think also what on Matt said, it's to freshen things up with the changes, little tweaks, fresh legs, obviously game from Wednesday, but when you're full of confidence, you just naturally go with it and and feel good and can't wait for the next one anyway. So no, really expect and looking forward to this one.
Yeah, we saw that victory, of course, on Wednesday meant Leicester went 7 points clear of third place. Preston, the side in fourth. Sunderland could have closed that gap today. They are currently losing though 3-0 at home to Middlesbrough. Coming up on Matchday Live, we've got plenty to get through. We're going to look back, of course, at that fantastic victory and in particular highlight the performance of Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. We'll hear from the manager. Enzo Maresca has been previewing the visit of Stoke and hopefully the chances we've been saying to extend this fantastic run. And we'll also take a closer look, of course, at Stoke City, who have a number of injury problems as well. So a real chance for Leicester, hopefully today, to get those 3 points. Incidentally, definitely worth saying, today is the first of back-to-back home games for Leicester City, as tomorrow LCFC women are in action in their second WSL game of the season after winning a week ago and making a brilliant start. Tickets obviously available for that game tomorrow, so do come along if you're at a loose end tomorrow. We're concentrating though on the action today, Matt, of course, and we've taken a look at the team news. You both mentioned it a little bit there. Has it raised your eyebrows slightly, given the fact there's an international break coming? It's not like there's another game on Tuesday, so he's decided to make those 6 changes.
I'm not surprised he's made changes, but I, to a degree, slightly surprised, in particular, Suter coming in, because he seems like he's been right on the periphery. But Maresca's, has obviously got other thoughts there. Again, he's trying to sort of not broaden his horizons with the group, but bring it so they have that genuine depth throughout, and it goes even deeper than some people at first thought. I think Suter proved his capabilities against Liverpool. I thought he was, excellent, maybe too strong a word, but he was very good, considering that was his first appearance. Him and Cody together, two of them showed their class, showed their qualities. So, you look at it and think, you're not worried. You look at that and you're slightly surprised that, I know Fassi's having a rest, I suppose, because he's going to have games coming up in the international break. So,
do you think
a bit
on
of
that
foresight,
one,
isn't it,
Matt, on Suter, it's because he's facing his former team, maybe?
Possibly there's an element of that. Just gets that extra sort of bit between the teeth, doesn't it? But I'd like to think it wouldn't need that. I don't know. Probably more coincidence than anything, but it's probably a contributory factor. But like Cody just coming back, he probably thinks, well, he's played 90 minutes. Let's just ease him through, because you don't want to just stop overload him too much. Fass has got games coming up, as I said. Played in the international break, didn't he? He got rested when he came back, didn't he?
Yes.
So, he's spreading the load, rightly so, really. You've got that squad, utilise it. The quality is there. Again, look at the bench, but that starting 11, quite frankly, it is more than enough to get this game done.
Yeah, it was. A lot of Stoke fans were very disappointed when Harry Suter came to Leicester in January. He clearly was having a good season with them. He's previously had injury problems, but Enzo clearly has seen enough in him from either the Liverpool performance or, as we're seeing now, in training as well, that he's more than capable and more than good enough to start this afternoon.
He is. Even when he came in January, I thought he performed solidly, and then he's sort of been on the fringes of things. Performed well against Liverpool, against world-class opposition. I'm a little bit surprised with that. I can understand, obviously, Connor Cody with this injury, but Fass, he's been looking as good as I've seen him, look really comfortable within the Championship. So I'm a little bit surprised, but he can more than perform in the Championship, and you've seen he's capable of performing in the Premier League and even at international level, and playing against his former team as well. So that will be fine. Just quite a few changes sometimes. So far, everything Enzo's done has worked, but it's near enough looking through that team. It's like for like, really. You've got players coming in for me, Nacho scoring regularly, Vardy's been scoring regularly, so that's just a change. MATCHDAY may be the area, but it's an opportunity for him today to go and get forward, get into the areas where we've seen Wilfred Ndidi, particularly in the last couple of games, assisting, creating, getting into them areas that cause opposition problems. So that will be a challenge for him today. Can he step up and perform as well as what Wilfred's been performing?
Yeah, hopefully we see the Cesare MATCHDAY that we saw flashes of on his debut against Cardiff. He came on for 20 minutes, didn't he? Played well, obviously got the winner. Yeah,
I mean, that goal obviously capped things off and sort of brought him into the spotlight. But yeah, decent cameo performance, wasn't it? But then, in truth, he hasn't really sort of hit those levels again when he has either come on or started games. So, talking about spreading the load, which Oscar obviously is as well, but he's also trying to get settled or integrate those players that have come in that haven't quite hit the ground, absolutely sprinting. They're sort of finding their way. Eunice can be in that group as well. He's shown flashes, more than enough flashes actually, of his attributes. But a couple of games he's got knocked out of it a little bit, and he's getting dotted around, isn't he, from left to right, and sometimes he played even one of the midfield three against Norwich, I think it was, first half, wasn't it? And MATCHDAY himself as well. Those two have both had opportunities, and I think they'll be given a little bit of grace because, one, our Leicester are picking up points, but two, the stage of the season it is. But now we're getting deeper into the campaign. They need to perhaps step up to the other levels that the other players are achieving, because not so long ago it looked like Maresca's number one team. Yeah, we could pretty much pick it, and the others on the edges, but I think he wants it where it was genuine competition.
Yeah, well, we saw a fantastic performance, didn't we, on Wednesday, led, of course, by the man on that screen there, Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, with those 2 goals in the second half as Leicester ran riot in the second 45 against Preston.
Connor Cody, there's no great press on Leicester tonight. Now Mavididi. Oh, lovely footwork from Steffi Mavididi. And a brilliant ball to Dewsbury-Hall. Similar position to where he scored against Blackburn. And Didi, no foul. That'll be a goal kick, but it's Leicester's most promising moment after 19 minutes. They need to keep the back door shut, and Holmes is in here. Holmes! Golden chance. And Preston couldn't take it. Came out of nothing. But Holmes now can turn. Not the first time he's picked up the ball in a dangerous position, and this time he forces Mads Hermansen into a smart stop. That is the closest either side has come to breaking the deadlock. Last couple of minutes, Leicester have looked a little more lively. And it's slipped through here, and it's Dewsbury-Hall! Finally, a big chance came Leicester's way, and Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall scores again in the Championship. 1-0. Carter tried to help it onto Dewsbury-Hall. Lovely touch. Dewsbury-Hall to Ndidi. Oh, what a goal this would be! Finished off by Kelechi Iheanacho. Oh. Leicester are heading top, and they are going to take some shifting in the Championship. Oh, lovely feet from Kelechi Iheanacho, and how about that for a pass? With the outside of his left foot, if he gets on the end of this, it will be a goal of the season contender. He won't, but Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall slams it in anyway. And Leicester City are going to equal the best ever start to a Championship season. 27 points from 10 matches.
Yes, 2.7 points a game at the moment Leicester City are averaging, which is a pretty impressive start to life in the Championship. And it was a pretty impressive second half performance, wasn't it, against Preston in the week?
Yeah, there was the patience involved, but once the first goal went in, you could see the class. Talking about an opposition team who are coming to the King Power in third place, and Leicester, you just saw the golfing quality and some excellent finishes. But once the first went in, it was just the floodgates opened. You could see, but they were patient up until that point, and then there's quality. But Preston did have their chances on the break in the first half. But the difference is when Leicester get there, they're going to finish it, or they're going to get more opportunities. So if the opposition don't take the chance, then Leicester are going to expose and finish. And I think now there's a fear factor. And then every game that's finished, the opposition manager will then compliment Leicester and say, oh, they're the best team in the league, they've got the best players in the league. So already there's that psychological advantage, and teams are coming into the game, perhaps Stoke today, and thinking, we'd snap your hands off with the point before the games even began. So it's looking really good for Leicester, but again, really good performance Wednesday, and then looking ahead to this one. But I think it's all that fear factor's growing and becoming even bigger. It's a really difficult place to come and get something.
Yeah, I think that's a major point, across the season, really, because perhaps as being ex-players, you sort of understand that a little bit more than maybe people in different areas, really, because you know yourself. Sometimes you didn't want to admit it, but you go up against teams. Sometimes you think, oh, this is going to be tough. And you look at your teammates, and if you're not having that good a time, or you're not that confident as a group, you can sort of, again, you're going to say all the right things, but you can tell if someone really believes it in how the performances come. And Preston, they didn't really believe in themselves. Okay, they had a game plan to a degree. Basically, drop off, let's be solid and hit on the counter. It was a bit more intricate than that, and in the first half, it could have worked for them, but over the course of the game, they almost admitted their inferiority. I know that sounds a bit extreme, but they did. It was there was a lack of intent. If they're a team who started like they have, I know they got trounced 4-0, surprisingly against West Brom out of the blue. But that aside, they should be flying on how well they were doing, and they come up against Leicester and thought, it's going to be tough. You could tell that was in their mind, even though they applied themselves well. Really, they were almost happy if it had been kept at 1-0. They'd have been not too bad, sort of thing. And that's how Leicester are affecting other teams around them at the moment. And you mentioned it there about the golf. If they get a result today and Ipswich do, Preston, 10 points to third. There's some gap at this stage
after
of the
11
season.
games.
We shall see. You don't want to get complacent though.
No, of course.
I mean, there's a game screen on there. Middlesbrough 3, Sunderland 0. Who'd have picked that at Sunderland? So strange things can happen.
Yeah, I think the thing with the opposition, they're more, as you touched on, hopeful at best, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're sitting in sort of, if we can produce a 0-0, we'll be happy. But then eventually you get tired, people come out of the positions, then Leicester can break through, then the first goal goes in, and then it changes altogether, and then it's only going to be one winner. But you see it in the Premier League, going to certain places, the opposition know they're sort of on a hide into nothing, really. And it feels already so early in the season, it's going to be the same for Leicester. Teams are coming and thinking, we'll probably take a 1-0. 1-0 defeat. We haven't got beaten badly. We've showed some spirit, some heart. I think it's similar again today for Stoke. But you can't be complacent, and you never know within the Championship. They might surprise and they might actually come out. What have they got to lose?
I was going to say that I hope the players aren't hearing us talking about it, because we're getting too carried away. But do you know what? I don't mind them hearing that sort of talk, because they should be reveling in it, really.
Especially given what happened last season.
Yeah, but not in an arrogant way, but they should just be supremely confident. They know their capabilities at this level. And if they perform how they should, they will go and dominate pretty much every game, and they will get the right result out of pretty much every game. It's down to them, but sort of grasp that moment, because it's not that often you get a chance to impress as much as Leicester are right now. But I think there is quite a big gap between themselves when they're playing at their best, between them and other teams. Again, without getting too carried away. But recognise that as a player, and go and ram the issue home, ram that point home.
Let's talk about the goals themselves then, particularly the first one, Matty, on Wednesday. As a former striker, as we've already referenced, he scored plenty of goals for this football club. How good is that finish from Kiernan Dewsbury Hall?
It's a little bit similar to his chance the week before against Blackburn, but he's had a touch and he just wanted to do too much on it against Blackburn away. And then this one, he doesn't have to sort of break his stride. It falls fortuitously to Kiernan. Good run forward, anticipates it well, and it's across the keeper. So even it's perfectly in the corner, but even if he gets a big hand on it, someone will be there, the winger at the back post, to maybe tap it in as well. But that's what they needed at that point, that breakthrough. A bit of fortune came kindly. There's a bit of confusion amongst the Preston players, but that's because of all the pressure, all the balls going in, all the intricate play. There's going to be mistakes at some point. Keenan's onto it in a flash, and really good finish across goal. And if he doesn't score it, then obviously it gives the chance for a rebound, especially when you play it across the face.
Yeah, it's great technique when he's fizzed it into that corner. The keeper hasn't had enough time to react, but it's precision, wasn't it? Precision, just what what you're looking for. And I liked it as well because the celebration, not that it was anything extravagant, that showed a little bit of personality, a little bit of confidence as well. He's not saying, look at me, I'm the man, or whatever, but he's like, yeah, that's what I'm capable of.
It was a real toss-up, wasn't it, between him and Wilfred Ndidi for the man of the match, the player of the match that you obviously gave on commentary. Wilf was integral in pretty much everything actually they did in the evening, but particularly the second goal. Yeah,
and it's great to see, if albeit slightly surprising. You know, he continues to astound us, doesn't he, with his intricate play.
This is a great ball.
Yeah, I mean, it looks straightforward sort of thing, but he's had to lift it a little bit to stop the being intercepted and the weight of it, etc. And like there, listen, last season you would not expect Wilfred Ndidi to be showing that finesse there. You think he's going to have a little wild swing and probably slice it wide of the goal or something. But how he's refined his game and changed his game, basically. It's incredible. I mean, people probably doing him a disservice previously about saying, oh, he's just an enforcer. He certainly couldn't shoot. The amount of attempts he had. You got the odd one where he mishit it into the top corner maybe. But he's showing massive repertoire of abilities, isn't he? In there, and creating, scoring, setting them up, and being a part of the build-up, and striding past centre forwards into breaking the defensive lines, and a different player.
Yeah,
he's been reborn, literally. Yeah,
it was his fellow countryman that got the finish for that one. He could have had a second, couldn't he? There was a great line in commentary from Chris Parrott in the week. He said this will be goal of the season if it goes in. Terrific play, wasn't it? Iheanacho were all over really this.
Yeah, obviously heavily involved in the build-up. Great switch of play. Carries this run into the box and would have been an outrageous goal if taken that first time on the volley. Good save by the keeper.
How difficult is that technique?
Really hard because you let it run. Yeah. Obviously, his left side is his favoured side, but to let it run across your body and get the contact that he did, you can completely miss it or you get too much on it. And it was a really nice, composed finish. Asked the question, the keeper, good save, and then Keenan follows it up as any good forward would do or any attacking midfielder. And another goal for him. So full of confidence, and touched on Wilfred before. I saw him sort of a box-to-box midfielder you could do, but he showed that extra bit of composure. Now he's in more advanced positions, and assist on Wednesday night, followed up by last Sunday against Blackburn, which was an outrageous pass for Jamie Vardy. So both midfielders in excellent forms in terms of assisting or scoring.
Yeah, I think in playing, sorry Dan, it's just playing in that advanced midfield role, there's less pressure to keep the ball all the time. So you can try a little bit. If he tries a little roll of the ball with his studs or whatever, and then tries a little turn, if he does that in a Harry Winks role, you're in trouble.
Yeah. You
do it further up the pitch, you've got more scope for error, shall we say. But need to mention Mark Albright for that cross as well.
Yeah. Yeah, we had him this week, spoke to the players, and he was joking about the fact that what an assist that would have been for Iheanacho. And apparently they've been giving each other a lot of stick at the training.
Will Iheanacho get the assist for that?
Potentially.
Yeah. Goalie. We're a keeper, yeah.
Yeah, he's made a little apology, Iheanacho, to Albright, that he didn't finish it. Anyway, there is a spot in the starting 11 today for that man, Kelechi Iheanacho. Enzo Maresca has decided to stick with him and also make 6 changes. This is what he said, though, in the week when he spoke to the journalists at Seagrave and was asked about his side's progression so far this season.
We said many times, very happy, pleased, especially for the players, for them, they deserve it, because they are making big effort, huge effort since we start this season to understand the way we want to play, and at the same times to win games.
You're on the verge of another international break now. Does it feel like maybe it may be coming at a bit of a bad time for you because of the form you've had and the wins you've had between now and the last one 3-4 weeks ago now?
No, absolutely. I think the international break will be perfect for us. We need to recover energy. We are playing every 3 days. The players, they need to recover energy. Probably we are going to try to arrive to the international break in the better way that we arrived last time, that we lost at home against Hull. But for the rest, I think the international break will be fantastic for all of us.
I guess it will be difficult as well with so many of your players going out on international duty again. But for the players that do stay around, what are the kind of key elements that you want to work on during this interview?
Yeah, the same thing we did the last time. We see the players that they're gonna be with us, and we're gonna try to be focused on them in the way we can improve them. And if we have, if we can work with some line, defensive line, midfielder line, attacking line, will be much better. But we don't know. Depends how many they're gonna leave. But for sure we're gonna focus in how we can improve them player for player.
At Stoke City tomorrow, Enzo, Alex Neil, their manager, is kind of renowned in the Championship as a bit of a tactician. I wonder how much you're looking forward to that battle.
To be honest, they play 10 games like us. I think they changed 6-7 times the shape, so it will be very difficult because at the moment we don't know how they're gonna play. To be honest, they changed 6-7 times, so I don't have a clear the shape they're gonna use, the way they're gonna press, the way they're gonna build. For sure, it's a team that if you see the stats, the number, it's a very aggressive team. They recover the ball very quick when they press. They are direct team. They cross a lot. They score many goals from crosses. Yeah.
Because of the amount they change formation, because of the injuries that are in the Stoke squad at the moment, how difficult does it make your kind of job to prepare for what they might bring tomorrow?
No, it's more not for in this moment against them, against Stoke tomorrow. The main concern is because it's true. In 10 games, they change 6-7 times the shape, so we don't know how they can adapt with us. We see tomorrow, but in the same time, it's complicated for this. And then for the players, we did some rotation in the past. We see tomorrow, but in the way they work, to be honest, they deserve all of them to play again.
That was Enzo Maresca there speaking ahead of the game against Stoke, of course, today. That was yesterday during his press conference. Today, obviously, he has named his starting 11 and has made 6 changes to the side that beat Preston in the week. I guess probably headline team news is Harry Souttar in at the back for his first league appearance of the season, and that comes against his former side. Interesting to hear what Enzo talking about Stoke and the way that they play, actually, and it's quite hard for him to predict how they will play, considering they've changed the way that they do so many times this season. Probably a lot of it is down to injuries. They've only got one fit centre half. That can't help them.
Yeah, like I said at the beginning of the show, they're like the weather. They're so unpredictable in terms of form, formation. They're a back 4, they're a back 5, they're changing all the time. Players, not only with injuries, I don't think Alex Neil knows his best 11 when all available. I saw him a few times last season and couldn't really tell sort of their identity, the style. It's apparent what Leicester play like, but with Stoke, just not sure, and it hasn't, under his reign, really clicked. And building on top of that, they've had a fair few injuries, so that's an excuse anyway. So today I could imagine them sort of sitting in, being difficult to break down. But at the same time, if they came out and sort of gave it a go and got after Leicester, it wouldn't surprise me as well. They're sort of difficult to sum up. Even Enzo said in there, it's I think they're all over the place a little bit at the minute. But at the same time, the pressure is on Leicester to go and perform. So there's expectancy Leicester are going to win. It doesn't always work out that way. But in terms of where you're looking at Stoke, I don't really know what they're going to produce. They might surprise a couple today. Who knows?
Probably don't know themselves, do they?
No, they don't. That's the thing.
It's been that sort of period, hasn't it, for them? I mean, I don't know how long ago it is now. Probably not as long ago as we think that they came out of the Premier League. But they
5 years ago.
5 years, yeah. So, yeah, I remember Leicester playing against them.
Well, they've had 5 rather in the Championship.
Yeah, I remember Leicester playing against them numerous times in the Premier League. But you never get the feel that they're one of these clubs who are looking to get back in the Premier League with any great urgency. They're just sort of neither here nor there, and a bit like their performances of late, reflects on them. But apparently they're having a bit of a struggle at the moment, performance-wise. And has it got to the stage where they think, right, we might as well have a go and see how we get on, or are they going to be more structured than that? Probably the latter.
Yeah, we'll talk more about Stoke in just a moment. Before we do, though, we can cross to your former teammate Gerry Taggart. Gerry, we've been speaking about Harry Souttar facing his former side, Stoke. You obviously played for both of these clubs as well this afternoon. Is it always nice when you see that?
It depends, Dan, on what the outcome of the game is. As simple as that. I think for Harry Souttar, it'll be a big occasion for him playing against his former club. But the reality is that, he wears a blue shirt and he's got to give his best for that blue shirt and not worry too much about the pitfalls and the injury blight that have come Stoke's way. So it's pretty nailed on. It's a foregone conclusion that Harry Souttar is in the team and he'll be making sure that he can do his best, because let's face it, he hasn't featured at all that I can remember this season. So it's a big game for him.
Tags, Matthew here.
Hello, Matthew.
Hello, sir. Number of Stoke supporters, as expected, relatively local, coming down today. Me and Matty and Dan have been discussing how Stoke are going to set up, we think, or go about their business. Have you got any inside info for us, sir?
Absolutely none, but I can predict what they're going to do. You've just spoken about the injury blight they've got at the back, and in fairness, if I was Enzo, I wouldn't be concentrating too much on Stoke. They're obviously at 6s and 7s. Their form isn't great. I think it's 1 in 6 league games they've won. I think they've lost 4, drew 1 of those as well. So for me, the focus is purely on how the forwards break that back line down with a makeshift back four in. By all accounts, I'm hearing that Jordan Thompson, who's a central midfield player, not the quickest, good technician, but he could well be playing in a left back stroke wing back position today for Stoke. So I think it'll be pretty evident early on that Leicester need to apply a great deal of pressure to Stoke's back line.
Just finally, Gerry, obviously a number of changes made by Enzo Maresca, 6 in fact, for the game. He'll still be well confident, and I think 32,000 Leicester fans here today will be that the side is good enough to get the victory today.
Well, again, you've heard Enzo in his pre-match talk, and to the untrained eye, you could say 6 changes. That's a bit of a shock to the system, but Enzo works with these guys every day. You heard him in there saying that these players deserve to have a game. It's been a pretty busy period for them, and so he thinks that the players that he's resting today deserve that, and the players that are coming in deserve to start today. And he'll be expecting no change from the way that the lads are play the system, and hopefully no change in the end result.
Thank you very much to Gerry Taggart there. He's on co-commentary duty for us with 2 of his former sides in action today, of course, Leicester against Stoke. Let's take a closer look then at the Potters, in particular at their injury problems that they've got at the moment, with Stoke Sentinels' Pete Smith.
So in the summer, huge clear out, starting from scratch again, bringing in a lot of new players in. Started encouragingly, got a couple of really good wins and promising performances under their belt. But as they've gone along, they've had some really tough injury problems as well. Players like Andre Vidigal, who's really looked the business, Ryan Mai, centre forward, a rush of defenders as well, left back end of Stevens in particular, who's been a proper regular starter. They've all been stuck in the treatment room, and that's come at a time when they've played. This will be their 7th game in 21 days, and it sounds like I'm making excuses here, but for Wednesday they were going in without 8 players. 2 more got injured on the night, so it's tough. But Alex Neil knows that he needs to somehow keep churning out results. As pressure will grow, no matter of excuses or factors or reasons. I'd like to see Vidigal and Ryan Mai, but they're both injured. Nathan Lowe has come into the team in the last couple of weeks. A really exciting prospect, 18 years old. Came off the bench last Saturday and scored the winning goal. He's been at Stoke since under 10s. He's a proper number 9, but he's mobile and keen to score. Got his first start on Tuesday night, and we're really excited about his potential. So hopefully he can show it sooner rather than later.
Thanks to Pete Smith there from the Stoke Sentinel for that insight into Stoke City. This game, of course, as ever, is available to you on Fox's Hub. Wherever you are in the world, there's different restrictions potentially, but a lot of you can watch this game. If you're in certain territories, you can get a Game Pass for it. There are also monthly Game Passes or seasonal Game Passes as well. If you're here in the UK and elsewhere, of course, you can listen to the game on Fox's Hub. Again, you can get all the details on lcfc.com/Fox's Hub. And if you do want to listen to the game, you can buy a monthly pass and listen to all the games during the month, of course, of October. This is the first of 2 games here at King Power Stadium as well this weekend. Leicester against Stoke, the men today, and then tomorrow LCFC women are also in action as they play Everton. If you are in and around King Power Stadium today, or you come into the game off you're here, do pick up a programme because it's 2 in 1 effectively for the game tomorrow as well as the game today as well. We heard there from the journalist about Stoke, about the injury problems that they've got. We've spoken about it already. Well over 8 players out, which is so difficult, particularly considering a lot of those were players they brought in the summer, and you want to try and change things. They started pretty well, some really positive results. It's just sort of gone downhill, probably because of the injury problems.
That's obviously a large part of it, isn't it? You would imagine. I mean, how many of them are regular starters? But all clubs these days are trying to rotate as best they can, with the numbers that they have. But 8 players. And we talk about Leicester's depth of squad, but if they were missing 8 players, that's a test for them. But they do have the strongest squad in the league. Someone like Stoke, you're going to feel it. No wonder their performances have been erratic, shall we say. And all the talk, listen, we'll find out in due course, but we're all talking and other people are talking on the edges of things. It seems like it's going to be a tough day for Stoke. They're coming in not with a lot of heart or belief, but Alex Neil, quite a feisty, competitive coach manager, isn't it? He'll be trying to rally his troops and get them to churn out some sort of performance. I
mean, one of the latest articles written by Pete Smith in the Stoke Sentinel, obviously they spoke to Alex Neil. He says he's not even ruling out bringing in free agents as a result, in his words, of the avalanche of injuries at the moment at the Bet365.
I think there's a little bit of pressure. Like saying during this reign so far at Stoke, I don't think it's gone according to plan, or they've, as Matt said, sort of been just lingering around the Championship. There's no real signs they're going to go up or down. They've sort of been there, but I think there's more expectancy with Stoke, and especially where they've been in the past, to do more than that. They have got some talented forward players, some of them obviously injured, but I think when the form isn't good or there's a little bit of pressure, you talk about the injuries more so. When you're winning, you find ways to adapt or go around it. Yes, you can look at strength and depth of squad, but I think saying, is there any free agents available? Talk of that, then I think that's more an excuse, to be honest. They've added a few younger players into it to provide a little bit more energy. Whether they'd get given the chance or not, who knows, but I'm sure they're good enough players, and they have got players. So I think Wesley's up front for them.
On the bench today.
On the bench.
As is Vidigal, Andre Vidigal, who started the season with 4 in 4, then got injured, came back for 1 game, scored, got injured again. He's only on the bench again today because of that injury.
Exactly, so you're talking the calibre of players or where they've been or the start of the season, and making a few excuses, which you're going to try and play it down a little bit, talk about the injuries more so than probably the performances, the players, what they're delivering. In terms of tactics, they're always changing, don't really know what they're about. I think they put a lot of effort in, but no real style so far from what I've seen of Stoke. So you probably play them injuries up a little bit more so, but then that adds to more pressure to Leicester. They've got a depleted team. can they go and break them down? Stoke aren't expecting much. They're going to give it a go. Sort one of them. But I can see why he's mentioned that and then dangled that sort of carrot. Oh, we might be after free agents at the minute. It's one of them in terms of on an article. I think it's more put down to sort of bide a bit of time.
It's an interesting point that Matty makes about the additional pressure then on Leicester. We know pretty much every game this season, it's fair to say they'll probably be favourites going into it, and they're very much heavy favourites today, because we're looking at the injuries that Stoke have got and where both teams are in the league.
Yeah, but again, you can look at it both ways, and we're talking about pressure there from Stoke's point of view. The manager mentioning that about free transfer, to me that makes their players sort of go, oh, is that what we got to look forward to? But from Leicester's point of view, pressure, to keep churning out results first and foremost. Added to that, performances, it seems to be generally improving. They've been efficient enough, but now they're starting to look really effective, aren't they? But I think it's that pressure. I mean, there's always you can always look at it and say, we've got pressure if we're just floating in mid-table. There's an emphasis on us to improve that relegation, whatever. There's always pressure of some sort in football. That's the best sort of pressure, I think, being at the top, knowing what you're capable of as well. Yeah. Because the players ain't daft. They know what they can do in this division. They've shown it. They're going to get better, and use it as a test. Test yourself to get the best out of yourself. Don't coast and take things easy and take things for granted. You carry on applying yourself. What a time! What a time to be playing football for a club like Leicester City. Yeah, chance to make it 10 wins from 11. At the start of this league season, which would continue to equal Sheffield United's start back in 2005-2006. Let's get a quick recap of today's team news as we're about 20 minutes or so away from kick-off. Here are the 11s then. Hermansen in goal for Leicester, Chowdhury, Vestergaard, Suter, Ricardo. We've yet to talk about the two fullbacks and who might push into midfield. We'll do that in just a moment. Winks, Dewsbury Hall and Cassidy. Yunus and Fatawu in behind Kelechi, Iheanacho, and then Stoke City have Travers in goal, Johnson, McAnally, Berger, Shamadou across the back four with Pearson, Thompson and Loren in midfield, Junho and Leris either side of Lowe. One of the players that was in that Leicester City starting 11 is Chelsea loanee Cesare Cassidy, and he's caught up with our commentator today, Guy Havard, around about an hour ago.
Cesare, the manager has given you a league start again here this afternoon. What has he told you to go out and do?
Yeah, he told me just to do my things, to work hard as always, and I will try to help the team as always and to win this game.
Do you feel any pressure on yourself trying to sort of perform as a relatively new player here as opposed to just doing what the team needs?
Yeah, obviously I feel a bit of pressure because this is a big team and we want to win every game, and it has to be like this because I just want to go in the pitch and give my 100% to win every game because we are Leicester and we have to do it. And today we have to work hard as always and bring these 3 points at home.
There's quite a few changes to the team from midweek against Preston. How much time do you get on the training ground to work as a unit, and how difficult is it when there are so many new faces coming in?
Yeah, not a lot of time to be honest, because we played 3 days ago and we have we didn't have a lot of time to prepare this game, but we did. We prepared this game with 2 days, and we know what to do in the pitch, and we will try to do it as better as we can.
That was Cesare Cassidy speaking to our commentator today, Guy Havard. We've already seen him score 1 goal at King Power Stadium. Of course, that late winner against Cardiff a few games ago. Let's hope he can get on the score sheet again today. We're going to talk about not a midfielder, a defender right now, and I half teased it just then. There's Chowdhury and Ricardo, we think, as the two fullbacks today. Who will be the one that pushes into midfield, do we think, or will they take it in turns?
Question. It'd be interesting to see, wouldn't it? Perhaps they both go in there, be a 2-3-4-1 or whatever. But
just trying to add that up.
Yeah, I think I got it right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, both have shown. Probably Ricardo, I think. Like Hamza's, if he is playing on that left-hand side, which we expect, it's going to be more natural and more regular. It's been Ricardo, hasn't it? But interesting might be that's the next phase, isn't it? You know, they both go in there at different times, which is highly doable. You know, if you can do it one side, you can do it both. It's just about recognising when and where you have to slot in. So, yeah, probably Ricardo, I would say. I'll tell you what, I mentioned in the week on the commentary, and I thought, listen, Leicester were good throughout. It was a little bit stale first half, wasn't it? You know, it didn't really catch a light. I was wondering why sometimes, and I know they've got a way to play, but James Justin or Chowdhury's positioner getting up there and overloading with Fatawu as it is today on that left-hand side. Just partly even because one of the problems is going to be breaking down packed defences. And they had that problem in the first half, obviously eventually not. But not overload of players, I don't know. Am I being too greedy? Like thinking, you know, so it's not reckless or whatever. They've got 3 against 1 at the back. You start to see development of things in different areas, and also want to see things from Cassidy today as well. Want to see what he's actually about. It's quite a big game for him today, I think.
Yeah. Chance to go 10 wins from 11 at the start of the season. Every game's pretty important, obviously, across a league season. But if they can do that, and if Ipswich beat Preston, we're looking at other results now. But there's a chance to go 10 clear of third today.
Oh, what an incentive! What incentive! Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth.
Exactly. That's not pressure, is it? That's positive incentive. Yeah.
What an incredible start! All the changes, people come and go, and new management in. It's been an unbelievable start so far. And then if you do manage to get 10 points clear, then even if there were some hiccups along the road, the other teams have got to perform to the maximum, and they can't be in between. They have to be 100% even to close that gap. And then, as we touched on before, it's that psychological advantage. They're already looking, thinking, oh, they're miles ahead. So even if Leicester were to slip up, they've got to be perfect, which isn't going to go on because the Championship, I know Leicester at the minute making it look easy, but it's far from easy.
Yes, just over 10 minutes to go now until kick-off here at King Power Stadium with Leicester. As we say, looking to make it 30 points from a possible 33 at the start of this season. As with every single game this season, they are available to you on Fox's Hub, whether that's to watch if you're in certain territories or to listen as well. Here's a little explainer about what is available to you today, and coming up we have got the full game.
If you are watching on lcfc.com, just sit back and relax. If you are watching on social media, the live stream will finish shortly. If you want to continue enjoying our coverage, you'll need to head over to lcfc.com/Foxes Hub and purchase one of our game passes. If you are watching in a territory where the game isn't live on TV, you'll be able to watch a live video stream on Foxes Hub. Please visit lcfc.com/territories to check. If you can't find your location, live audio commentary is still available. You'll need to have an lcfc.com account before you purchase your Game Pass. If you already have one, please sign in and select your product at lcfc.com/Foxes Hub. Select the Buy button and you'll be taken to the payment page. Once you've followed the simple payment steps, press Continue at the bottom of the screen and you'll be taken to the Foxes Hub homepage. If you purchased a video pass, please select Watch Live from the Foxes Hub drop-down menu. If you purchased a Listen Live pass, please select Listen Live. If you purchased a seasonal or monthly video pass and the game is not being shown in your territory, please select Listen Live. If you are having a payment or technical issue, please email Leicester TV Support at streamamg.com. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy the match.
Who wants to join me? Shopping at King Power. 3-day, 2-night stay booked. See ya! To the rooftop bar.
To snap a photo for my IG.
To eat the famous pad thai.
The new collection is calling me.
Sure, there's a perfume I want. Let me ask my sis.
Yes, of course I'm going.
Leicester City, Fox never quit.
Let's go. It's possible because King Power is more than just duty-free. Shop latest trends in beauty and gadgets, your coolest staycation, the legendary Pad Thai, best street food in town, a place to support your team, a fancy dinner, enjoy shopping at downtown stores and online, or even the thrill of a new experience. Explore your everyday possibilities. The power of possibilities. King Power.
The new season's nearly here and the opinions are getting stronger.
We've got serious pulling power now.
Oh, to get the top two players now.
Aye?
It's like I've been saying, if he settles the squad, we'll be back on top.
Only this time we're going for the quadruple.
You are joking, aren't you?
The time for talk is nearly over.
With over £4 million in free bet giveaways and huge price boosts, kick off your season with Sky Bet. That's betting better.
Jameson Black Barrel unlocks a rich